Okay, guys, it's time for a new book. This one is called Bright Night. Notice the silent GH letter pair in both bright and night. You're going to see lots of those words in this book. This is the story of Anne Bradstreet. One thing I love about this story is that Anne lived during the colonial period, which we've studied. Anne was born in England. She got a disease called smallpox when she was young. It's a very serious disease. She almost died from it, but in the Lord's mercy, she recovered. She grew up and married a young man named Simon, and they both got on a boat, crossed the Atlantic, and became a part of the New England colony in Massachusetts. In this book, we learn about some of the difficulties they faced in the New World. Anne had the gift of writing, and she used that gift to create beautiful poetry. She wrote about nature, she wrote about her children and grandchildren, and she also wrote about some of the events that happened in their life. I'm going to read about some of those tomorrow to you. I love her poetry. She is very readable, but also very genuine, and I just really appreciate Anne Bradstreet, and I hope you will too after you read this book. So before we get started, let's look at some of the vocabulary that you're going to see quickly. So we're going to look at page 115. So we're going to look at 115C. If you could get that and put it in front of you, I'd like for you to read along with me. I'll give you a second to get that. And it looks like this. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we've done before. I'm not going to go over every word with you. Just please ask if you have any words that you're not sure of. Ask someone in your family. I'm just going to point out a few here. Let's look at the first column. Do you see the GH letter pair? So you know that in every single word in the first column, you are not going to hear that GH. So in that first word, it is night, like bright night. The second word is slight. Now, slight can mean a couple of different things, but in this book, slight means slim. It's used to describe Anne Bradstreet. Slight. Go to the very bottom of the first column. Look at that word. Instead of SL at the beginning, you have BL. Blight. Blight. Blight is another word for illness or a sickness. Blight. All right, let's read down through the first column together. These should be fairly easy for you to read. Here we go. Night, slight, taught, nights, fights, frights, sigh, caught, sight, blight. Notice all of those have the long I sound, except for taught and caught. Both of those have AU, which says ah. All right, very good. Let's read that first column one more time a little bit faster. Night, slight, taught, nights, fights, frights, sigh, caught, sight, blight. Very good. Okay, let's look at the second column. All right, you see 4 proper nouns. Do you see them right in the middle of the second column? Well, the first one there, of course, is on the front of the book. That's the name Anne. And then the next one is Bradstreet. That is her first name and last name. The next word I hope you recognize. We've read that one before. We read this one in Queen of the Sea. That is the country of England. And then the next one is Simon. That is the name of the man she marries, Simon Bradstreet. Now look at the very bottom. K-N-A-C-K. Well, do you remember from last week that K-N letter pair? Is it going to say knack? No, it isn't. The K is silent, isn't it? You have 3 words there that begin with K-N. You're only going to hear what sound? Knack. What do you think knack means? Knack means that you have a special skill or talent. Like if someone says, you have a knack for writing poetry, or you have a knack for building things with Legos. That means you're really good at that. You have a special skill. Knack. All right, let's read the second column. High, straight, gnomes, Anne, Bradstreet, England, Simon, knead, that's to knead bread, knock, knack. Very good. Let's read that a little more quickly. Ready? Here we go. High, straight, gnomes, Anne, Bradstreet, England, Simon, knead, knock, knack. Excellent. Third column. Good job, guys. Ooh, look at the MB words at the top. Do you recognize those? We're not going to pronounce it crumb, but rather we'll just leave the B off. It's silent. Crumb, like a crumb of a cookie. Numb, wrench, poem, rhyme. And that rhyme, guys, is an old English way of spelling rhyme, as in rhyming words. But you'll see it spelled this way in our book. Fraught. Fraught means full of. Not. Not means nothing or without. And smallpox. Knoll. Knoll is a small hill. Okay, good. Let's read that column. Crumb, numb, wrench, poem, rhyme, fraught, knot, smallpox, knoll. Okay, guys, I hope this will help you as you read today. Before I let you go, though, I want to just show you one more thing that you're going to come across in your book today. And I think it's a helpful thing for you to know. So you're going to actually have a sentence that you will write today. It's going to have these words in it. Now, you're going to write these words for handwriting. But what I'm doing today is I'm using one of your phonics sheets for you to just practice copying a sentence and doing your best handwriting. But I'm going to read that sentence to you. I ought to have brought the thing I bought. Listen one more time and see if you can hear rhyming words in this sentence. I ought to have brought the thing I bought. What words do you hear that rhyme in that sentence? The words you see right in front of you, don't you? Ought, brought, bought. Now, first of all, let's just very quickly take a look at this. Do you see the silent letter pair here? Yes, you do. There's GH. I'm going to mark those out because we know that we will not hear them. But what I want to focus on very quickly is this OU sound, because just recently we learned that OU says owl, and in many, many words it does say owl. But in these words, are you hearing owl, out, brout, bout? No. What do you hear? Listen. Ought. You know what you're hearing there? You're hearing the short O sound. Listen. Ought. Do you hear ah? Brought. Bought. So the OU in these words, guys, just makes a different sound than in most words. And it's just an important thing for you to know. And as you read more, you'll just learn to recognize these words. You'll immediately know what they are. but I hope this will just help you read because some of these are going to be in your book today. So it's good. It's going to make that short O sound. And you know what? You're not going to hear this U. So it's like ought. You know what you're hearing? The O and the T. Isn't that incredible? Ought. Here you have br, ought, and then ba, ought. Okay? There are other words like this, like sought and thought and fought. Okay? There are some other words where OU says ah. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoy reading your book today, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow.